Hey there guys, how are you today, and welcome to my preview of the 2017 Japanese Grand Prix. So I guess let's get straight into it. So of course, after the shock result of a Max Verstappen win in Malaysia, there's lots of excitement going into this race. Could it be between 3 different teams to win the race? Are Mercedes going to be competitive, or are they going to pull off the pace? Will Ferrari have a cleaner weekend? Lots of questions to be answered, I'm sure you all agree. So yeah, lots to talk about guys. So let's start with the championship leaders, Mercedes. So of course Lewis Hamilton had second place in Malaysia despite a pole position, but he seemed worried about the Mercedes pace. He knows his teammate Bottas also off the pace, and Vettel was behind because of his engine issues, and Raikkonen as well. So he was obviously maybe lucky to get second place in Malaysia, and he's going to be pretty worried going into Suzuka. But he does have a 34-point lead in the Drivers' Championship, and Mercedes have a huge lead in Constructors post Malaysia. So he may still believe he can win the World Championship, but he's very worried about pace, and I don't know if this is going to be a great weekend for them, considering Japan and Malaysia similar tracks. And as for Bottas, yes, he was really off the pace in Malaysia, but he's got his contract now, so he can chill basically, a bit like Raikkonen. But he'll be hoping for an improvement in Japan. But I think the Constructors is almost done now. Tell me guys, do you think Ferrari can still pull it back? I don't think so. Now let's move on to Ferrari. So of course Vettel may have a possible gearbox / engine penalty following the Lance Stroll incident at the end of the race. I'm not too sure what I think about that. Maybe tell me in the comments as well. Who do you think was at fault at the end of the Malaysian Grand Prix, Vettel or Lance Stroll? But yeah, of course, you could have a gearbox penalty, which would be 5 places, or even an engine penalty would be 10 places. As I'm making this video, that hasn't been announced yet. Whether it'll be announced by the time it's published, I don't know for sure. So we'll see how it goes. And of course, that could really affect him in Japan and affect the championship as well. But I generally think if they have a clean weekend, Vettel could do very well at Japanese Grand Prix. While of course, Kimi Raikkonen had awful luck in Malaysia. We know what happened to him at the start of the race, of course. And he needs an improvement in Japan. But in Malaysia he could have won that race. He would have been favoured to win that race had he not had that issue at the start. I reckon he would have beaten the Red Bulls. That is my honest opinion there. And he'll be hoping for better luck this week, but we know if Vettel is around, he's not going to be allowed to win. Vettel will win the race, Raikkonen won't. As for Red Bull, well, Ricciardo, there seems to be a lot of chatter about him everywhere at the moment, because he's been a few tenths off his teammate in the last few races. Of course, it's only like it the way it is in the Drivers' Championship. By the way, all the standings will be in the description down below. But it's only like that way in the Championship with Ricciardo and Verstappen, with Ricciardo ahead because of Verstappen's bad luck. But now we've seen how much faster Verstappen has been recently. And yeah, he has to improve in Japan and ideally fight for the win. While Verstappen, he was the winner in Malaysia. A great race from superb overtake on Hamilton, very aggressive and all that. And Japan has a similar track, high speed corners, good for the Red Bull car, you would have thought. Can he win again? I don't know, maybe. But I don't think he'll be able to beat the Ferraris in a clean race. Next, Force India. While Perez, obviously his aim is to get over the illness he had in Malaysia. He did very well in Malaysia to come P6, I believe, despite an illness, and he was quite ill even on Saturday night. So yeah, pretty impressive by him to do so well, and be hoping to do better but not be ill in Japan. But Ocon had a bit of a rough race in Malaysia, a few incidents with Sainz, with the Williams, etc. But basically he still got a point, but we'll be hoping for a calmer race in Japan. Moving on to the Williams team, of course Felipe Massa is where all speculation is at the moment. He was closer to his teammate in Malaysia, so maybe he responded to what I said in my Malaysia preview. And his aim will be to beat him this weekend, but there's a lot of speculation surrounding a seat. And it came out today, today's Tuesday, I'm recording this on Tuesday afternoon, that Kubica is going to get some tests with the Williams team. It was announced. So that's one of the people who could replace Massa. So yeah, Massa needs to start performing if he wants to be in F1 next year. Although I don't know if he actually wants to or not. While Stroll did have a strong race in Malaysia, finishing in P8, I believe. Okay, of course he had the instant post-race, but I don't know whether it was his fault. But I think the team will struggle in Japan, and they did sort of struggle in Malaysia and Ray. in qualifying, neither getting into Q3. But okay, they got lucky in the race a bit with Sainz retiring, Raikkonen retiring, etc. So it'll be interesting to see how they do in Japan, of course, with the master seat. As for Toro Rosso, of course, Gasly made his F1 debut in Malaysia. Didn't get any points, but I thought he was very professional. And people are saying that in Japan, a track he knows well, he could get something there. And, he's very professional and everything. While, as for Sainz, he had a decent race in Malaysia overall, despite the crash with Ocon. But he was doing alright, and then he had an engine issue, which caused him to retire. I guess he won't really care anymore. He'll just be hoping for better results with Renault next season. And as for the actual Renault team, where of course Carlos Sainz will be next season, Hulkenberg had a poor race in Malaysia, and I guess we'll want to have a better race in Japan to solidify the idea that there's been a lot of progress with the Renault team, while Palmer essentially won't want any more gusts of wind. Of course, he said that his spin in Malaysia was caused by a gust of wind, and that reminded me of Rosberg in 2015 American Grand Prix, when he said a gust of wind caused him to go wide, and that let Hamilton win the race and championship. So does that mean that Palmer's going to win the next championship? I don't think so. So yeah, he'll be hoping for a better race, and of course he's fighting for his place in Formula 1. The Haas team, well, they had a poor race in Malaysia. No points, I believe. And, well, yeah, this track won't suit their car either. But Magnussen did have a lot of arguments with the fellow drivers. Of course, Alonso most recently saying on the radio hilariously that Hulkenberg was right, because of course Hulkenberg had a whole big rant in Hungary, I believe, about Magnussen, and we all know what happened there. And yeah, Magnussen's just gonna want a clean race, essentially. Moving on, McLaren Honda, double points in Malaysia. I'd say it shocked us all. Been pretty impressed with Stoffel Van Dorn in recent races. See if he can continue his good form, 2 point finishes in a row. See if he can continue it in Japan. And of course, Japan is Honda's home race, so their final season with McLaren for now, they want to have a good result. Finally, the Sauber team, I guess nothing really special for the last race, but there's obviously lots of rumours saying Verlaine's also on the list for the Williams seat, massive seat in F1. So, he want to perform in Japan and the last few races, but such, downforce heavy track, and I don't think this is going to be a Sauber track at all. I don't think they'll be even close to points this weekend. So as for my predictions, and of course you can leave your predictions in the comment section down below. Pole and victory, Sebastian Vettel. I'm going to go Verstappen P2, Ricciardo P3, so continue Verstappen being faster than Ricciardo. Hamilton in P4, Bottas P5, so I reckon Mercedes are going to struggle a bit this weekend. But I still personally think Hamilton's going to hold off Vettel for the World Championship. P6, Raikkonen. P7, Perez. P8, Alonso, some more points for that team. P9, Hulkenberg. And P10, Esteban Ocon. So yeah, tell me your predictions in the comments and anything about any of the issues I've discussed in this video. And I'll see you guys when I review the Japanese Grand Prix.
Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you really enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this and other types of videos, please subscribe to my channel. If you have anything to say in the comments, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Also, go and check out the video that should be on screen right now, and come and follow me on Twitter, BigGaming342, and Facebook, BigGaming342, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.